Hello and welcome to The Download from Wise Woman and Wordsmith, where insight meets inspiration. A space for creatives, dreamers and visionaries ready to spark new ideas, ignite purpose and reimagine possibilities. Here we share downloads of wisdom, stories and strategies to help you thrive in your creative journey. I'm your host, Jill Marshall. Tune in, connect and let the magic unfold.
Show you tomorrow.
Hello, welcome to The Download, where we explore the moments of insight that arrive like whispers on the wind, or sometimes like doors flung open before us. Today we're talking about something that shows up in every life, every story, and every decision we make, and that's doors. The doors that open, the ones that close, and the ones we may never even notice. I must confess, I was prompted to do this episode based on a very silly example, which is when I popped out of my room early one morning to use the bathroom. In this particular house, the loo is behind two doors, one to the bathroom and then another through to the toilet. As this is a shared house, a closed loo door means that's not available but will be soon, or a closed bathroom door means there's someone in there for, the longer term. What threw me on this occasion was that the loo door was shut, but I knew everyone in the house was not in the bathroom. They'd either gone out or were elsewhere in the house. So what was going on? Luckily, my housemate came by and found me staring at the door and instantly got it. She explained that someone had come earlier to collect something and had used the loo and then, not knowing our unspoken door language, had closed the door after they'd left. And I realised we have quite a lot of unspoken door language in shared spaces, like a sock on the door handle when you're in college. In this house, an open bedroom door means either you're out or you're in the room and you're open to being disturbed. In fact, you might even be listening out for other activity around you and ready for a chat. A closed bedroom door could mean you're in the room and asleep, or not to be disturbed as you're possibly on a Zoom call. If the door to the back door to the garden is open as you walk through the front door, you know someone's home ahead of you. It's all useful, subliminal information. Intuitive information, if you like. So this little trip to the toilet led me to think about the door as a download. Doors have powerful symbolic meaning across cultures, literature, and personal experiences. What do they have to do with intuition? And moreover, how can we tune into the doors in our lives, both literal and metaphorical, to guide our next steps? Today, we're unlocking those questions. So let's start with a simple truth. Doors are thresholds. They mark transitions, decisions, opportunities, barriers. The moment you step through a door, you're entering a new space, a new reality, a new timeline. Or if a door closes, you're being redirected, whether by choice or by circumstance. Just think about how doors show up in your life. Have you ever felt like the universe was guiding you to an opportunity by placing an open door in front of you? Or have you struggled with a closed door only to realise later that it was a blessing in disguise? Intuition works the same way. Often, we know deep down whether we're meant to walk through a door or walk away. The question is, are we paying attention? Doors have held deep spiritual meaning for centuries. In ancient Egypt, doors and gateways symbolised passage into the afterlife. Tombs were often decorated with false doors believed to be portals between worlds, allowing spirits to pass between realms. Hindu temples have elaborately designed doorways marking the transition from the physical to the divine, and in shamanic traditions, doors appear in visions as entry points to wisdom and higher consciousness. Many people, and you might be one of them, have experienced dreams or visions of doors that helped them make important life decisions. A recurring dream of a locked door might symbolise an internal blockage, while a door opening onto light or a new landscape could be an invitation to a new phase of life. Stories abound of individuals who have seen doors in meditation or dreams just before major breakthroughs. Or sometimes a door slamming shut in a vision is the universe's way of saying, nope, this is not your path. Following our intuition means developing an awareness of these doors and trusting the signals we get about them. I rely a good deal on the notion of opening and closing doors, not always but sometimes actual doors, but also symbolic ones. I had a sense, for instance, that the actual doors were closing in a rental property that I'd leased, a house that I loved and intended to stay in for at least another year, if not more. Then I got the first creaking closed of the door, the landlords telling me that they might actually need the house back for other purposes in less than a year. My front door literally popped up in my mind's eye, but I went back with some discussion points and they took them on board. Then the second closing of the door happened. They might have to bring it forward to 6 months rather than 12. At this point I sensed, rather than saw, the subliminal door language. This opportunity is closing. So what might be next? My landlords were lovely people, we got on well, but I could sense that this had very little to do with me and all to do with their own circumstances. When, soon after, they mentioned a 3-month window instead of the previously agreed 12 months, I got it completely. This door was closed. And then again, maybe it was something to do with me. Knowing that the door was now shut, with me on the outside of it, I took the nudge and decided to use it as an opportunity to travel again and try somewhere new. One door closing might be a gentle hint to look more closely at the details. 2 doors closing, well, that kind of constitutes a warning. 3 doors slamming, time to leave. If you're not already standing on the pavement with your suitcase, wearing all your coats at once, and with your cat shivering under your arm. So some of the most powerful downloads we receive do come in the form of doors, again, metaphorical ones. You might be offered a new job, but something inside you says, this isn't right, that's a closed door. Or you may suddenly receive an unexpected invitation that feels so aligned you can't ignore it. That's an open one. Following our intuition means developing an awareness of these doors and trusting the signals we get about them. Let's consider some iconic open and closed doors in popular culture. If we look at stories, whether in books, films or history, we see incredible examples of doors that change lives. One of my favourites, from one of the best children's series of all time, is The Wardrobe in The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. Lucy Pevensey doesn't force her way into Narnia. She follows a feeling, an invitation. The wardrobe is simply there, waiting for her to walk through. A perfect example of stepping into a new reality when the time is right. For Lucy and the other Pevenseys, they shoved their way through those fur coats to fulfill their destiny and become not just poor evacuees, but powerful, respected leaders. And here's something interesting about Lucy's door in this respect. It doesn't look like a normal door, it's a wardrobe. In my own books, Janie Brown's transformation to super spy Jane Blonde comes when she shimmies through a fireplace, another door that doesn't look like a door. Your doors may be very specific to you, so it's good to recognise what your subconscious has done to the symbolism. As for a closed door, how about the moment in The Wizard of Oz when Dorothy finally returns home? The door to Oz is no longer open to her, not because she's failed, but because she's learned what she needed to, that there's no place like home. That chapter is closed, and it's time to move forward. These examples all show us something profound. Open doors aren't always about easy opportunities, and closed doors aren't always about failure. They're both signs, both downloads, both messages to heed. And what about who stands at the door? Doors aren't just about our own choices. They also involve who we let in. In many traditions and literary tropes, vampires cannot enter a home unless they are invited. This represents the deeper truth that sometimes we invite in energies, people, opportunities, or fears that may not serve us. The threshold of the door is a place of discernment. Are we welcoming in something nourishing or something that will drain us? On the other hand, doors can be places of great welcome and transformation. In The Lord of the Rings, Frodo welcomes Gandalf happily into Bag End, setting off on a grand adventure that reshapes his destiny and that of the world. A visitor at the door can be the beginning of something extraordinary if we recognise the right invitations. But the doors in our lives aren't just about walking through, they're also about standing guard. Who do we allow to cross our threshold? Who do we turn away? These are just as crucial to our intuition as knowing when to step forward. A long time ago, I had a very mystical example of the door as a challenge. I was in a serious relationship with someone who was nevertheless very conflicted about whether they should or could be with me. One night I woke up to see them standing at the door with their back to me, head down and arms slightly lifted as if they were staring at their hands. Even without seeing their face, I could tell they were very, very confused. But as I turned to call out to them, I found that they weren't at the door at all. They were actually beside me, fast asleep. Now, maybe I'd been dreaming. Maybe I'd conjured up this vision. But somehow, deep down, and this was long before I'd embraced my more woo-woo side as I have now, I knew that what I had observed was a very unhappy spirit or bar or soul who wanted to leave but didn't know how. Of course, I didn't want that to happen, so I chose not to interpret it that way and decided I'd imagined it. But what I felt at a deeply instinctive level was the pull of someone else's energy through a door. And what I know now at a deeply instinctive level is that I should have let them go. So, for this episode, and in helping you to also embrace your wild intuition and woo-woo, I'm going to do something a bit different and give you a simple exercise to start considering your personal subliminal door language. Skip to the next section if this is not for you, and if it is, find a comfortable place to sit or lie down. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in and out. Take another in and out. With each breath, allow yourself to relax a little more. In and out. Now, imagine yourself standing in front of a door. It can be any kind of door, ornate, simple, old, new. Notice its details, the colour, the texture, the way the handle feels beneath your fingers, if it has a handle. Ask yourself, what does this door represent? Is it a door to an opportunity or a challenge? Maybe a mystery? Are you scared? What's behind the door that you're scared of? And why? Now, take another deep breath and gently push the door open. Step through. What do you see on the other side? Is it familiar or surprising? Are you walking into something you've been seeking or something unexpected? If the door remains closed, don't force it. Instead, take a moment to reflect. What is the lesson here? Is it time to wait, to knock again, or maybe to walk away? Trust whatever comes to you. Your intuition knows. When you're ready, step back from the door, return to your breath, and slowly open your eyes. Thanks for doing that with me. So what about you? What doors have opened or closed in your life recently? Have you been ignoring an open door out of fear? Or trying to force open a door that just won't budge? Take a moment today to reflect, pay attention to the invitations the universe is sending you, and listen when something inside you says, this isn't the right door. Your intuition is speaking. It's up to you to follow it. And if today's episode sparks something in you, please share your thoughts with me. I'd love to hear your own door stories, metaphorical or otherwise. Tag me on social media, drop me a message on the podcast, and until next time, stay open, stay wise, and keep following the door downloads that lead you forward.